Oh, what is the EPs, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GXWrestleCast. We're on episode 111 of my wrestling recap show, where once a week I go through all the major WWE and AEW shows, give you the recap, give you the review, let you know what's going on storyline-wise, and at the end of the show, I give out my 3 stars of the week, awarding my 3 favorite matches that I witnessed with my eyeballs. And when there's another massive pay-per-view weekend, I will be doing separate episodes to review said pay-per-views. We got Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank, so I'll be doing those together, so be on the lookout for that. But let's get into the weekly recap. We got Monday Night Raw in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we got Michael Cole rocking a Pacers jersey on commentary. Guns are out, looking pretty good. We got Pat riling up the fans about the NBA playoffs and all that jazz. CM Punk arrives talking Money in the Bank. Punk claims he's going to win for the 3rd time and is coming after that bitch, John Cena. Sami Zayn interrupts CM Punk. The crowd is chanting, "We want truth." You damn right we do. Sami says Punk must win the qualifier, fearing Rollins. Punk feeling the pressure to stop Rollins from winning Money in the Bank and potentially ruining WWE just like John Cena. It was a pretty decent opening segment. We move to the first match. It's a triple threat Money in the Bank qualifying match. Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer, making her Monday Night Raw debut, versus Ivy Nile. We get the devil kisses for Liv and Ivy. Crowd loving it. You can hear Booker T somewhere out there in the world going, and the thing that he does. We get Nile, 2-for-1 German suplex, and gets the Tower of Doom. Well done from Ivy. Thumbs up. Liv, double code breaker, hits Oblivion on Steph. Ivy attempts to steal the pin. It fails. Vaquer nails Ivy with the SVB to qualify for Money in the Bank. Big win right there for Steph in her Raw debut. Pretty good showing there from all 3 women. Good match. 7 out of 10. We got AJ Styles greeted by Paul Heyman. Heyman wishes AJ happy birthday. Well, happy motherfucking birthday. Heyman got AJ a gift. It's advice. Aww. Heyman tells AJ not to worry about Money in the Bank. Just focus on the Intercontinental title and leave the world title to Rollins. AJ ain't having none of that. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess he is, because he is going to go fight for the Intercontinental Championship. Nothing wrong with that. We got Sheamus delivers a message to Rusev. I bully bullies. Oh snap, oh snap. So they're obviously going to collide at some point. Now we got New Day joining commentary to watch War Raiders, Ivar and Eric versus Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Raiders fake out the New Day, absolutely hilarious. Freaking Kofi and Xavier falling over in their chairs and stuff. Oh, looking like absolutely silliness. Thumbs up. New Day flip out, they get ejected, so again, being funny. Ivar on fire, goes for the Doom Salt, but Roxanne causing a distraction. Finn, coup de grace, Judgment Day win. Raiders dominating performance, looking strong in defeat. Roxanne proving her worth to Judgment Day and helping them out get another win. That's always a bonus. Solid tag match. We got Rhea Ripley welcoming Stephanie Vaquer to Raw backstage. Massive pop right there for Mommy. Holy jumping. I think she's a little popular, just safe to say. Now we got Women's Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria calls out Becky Lynch. Lyra tells Becky to shut up, which makes me laugh, and you get some audible laughs from the crowd, and Becky's reaction was great. Lyra calling out Lynch as a hypocrite. The crowd wutting Lyra is really annoying. I want that trend to stop. Becky fires back. Lyra wants a fight about it. Becky says, not today, walk away. I do not fight in Tulsa. Not today. Lyra can't get her hands on Lynch before security is able to separate them. Lyra trying to unlock her anger to beat Lynch at Money in the Bank. And that's good, man. The anger brings out the emotion in Lyra. I like her work right now. Pretty good. We got Jey Uso and Sami Zayn teaming up against Braun Breaker and Braun Breaker. No. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. The Bronsons. With Paul Heyman. The Bronsons dominating. Sami and Jey mounting a comeback. Rollins arrives, stomps Sammy, and the match is disqualified. Boo! Bronson Reed about to tsunami Sammy through the announce table. Here comes CM Punk to make the save using a chair. Seth and the Bronsons retreat, but this ain't over. Statement match right there. Honestly, who could stop the Bronsons as a tag team? Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, even though his name's not Braun, but it's Braun. It's close. It's Bronson. Pretty good. That'd be a fun team. Call them the Bronsons, and hey, this ain't over, pal. Hey, watch yourself. Ooh. We got Liv Morgan confronting Finn Balor about Roxanne Perez. Liv knows it's all part of Finn's plan to ruin Liv and Dom's relationship. Liv will back up Raquel later and not Perez. So, yeah. Some tensions are building for sure. We got Kairi Sane versus Raquel Rodriguez with Liv. Liv causing a ruckus. Io Sky ain't having it. Puts a whooping on Liv. Insane elbow connects and Kairi Sane with another win. Impressive performance from Kairi battling back. Liv not making herself look good right now. Doesn't help Raquel. Ooh, that's a bad one right there. We move on. It's Karrion Kross. Calls out Sami Zayn yet again. Kross calls Sammy a liar. That's too far, bro. Karrion knows Sammy is a bad guy capable of bad things. Sammy says, nuh-uh. No, I'm not. Don't stop saying that shit. Again, I don't know what's going on with Karrion. I'm pretty sure he's getting released here, but why? The guy's awesome. Like, he has just been spitting fire for weeks now, and use the guy. Get him involved in something. Jesus. All right, we got Gunther. Polite sit down with Jey Uso. Gunther appreciates Jay's work as champion. Gunther knows Jay's working hard, helping everybody, and he is not 100% going into Money in the Bank. Jay replies with one word, tap. Okay, all right. Again, I don't like these polite sit-downs. I would like it to Gunther just to be beating the shit out of him all the time. That'd be a little better, but all right. Another interaction down, and it's main event time. Triple threat Money in the Bank qualifier. It's CM Punk versus Grande Americano versus AJ Styles. Grande gets checked and doesn't have metal in his mask, at least for now. Punk impressive power up for a GTS on Chad. AJ breaks it up with a 2-for-1 DDT. The crowd wants our truth, damn it. I do too. We get a GTS connects. The Bronsons drag out Punk. Oh no. Sane and Jey Uso arrive, brawling with the Bronsons. Grande loads up his mask. Oh, there it is. Anti-air headbutt to AJ Styles with the metal in his mask. Grande Americano pins and wins, and he is going to Money in the Bank. What? Banger right there. And hell yeah for Chad. I mean, Grande Americano. Oh yeah. Strong performances all around. Rollins, the Punk beef, it keeps cooking. It's just sizzling, and it will not stop. Plus, Sane and Jay versus the Bronsons. That could be pretty fucking good too. 8 out of 10. Rollins and the Bronsons overwhelm the good guys. Multiple tsunamis destroys the competition. And that's it. Solid go-home Raw. Fluffing up Money in the Bank matches. The final entrants get added. More wedge driving in Judgment Day with Roxanne and Liv Morgan. Rollins and friends, I think I'm going to start calling them the Revolution because, Evolution, Revolution. They remind me of Evolution. Batista, Ric Flair, Randy Orton, Triple H. Now you got Seth Rollins. Bronson, who could be, the Randy Orton of the group if you want. You got Ric Flair, Paul Heyman. Then you got Batista. That's Bronson Reed, baby. Oh, yeah. All right. Rollins, yep, talked about that. Dominating the scene. But Money in the Bank plans are spoiled for now. Pretty solid show. 6.5 out of 10. Now we will head over to NXT. We got Javon Evans and Laredo Kid interrupted by Ethan Page. Page is pissed about the fatal 4-way he's got to be in. Laredo tells Ethan he has no balls. Straight up. Sean Legacy joins the chat ready to fight the winner for the North American Championship. And then the Vanity Project coming straight out of high school, trashing Legacy, and then they join Page, attacking Javon and friends. We get a trifecta dive, wipes out the bad men, and the brawling all over. Nice chaotic start. Vanity Project, like I said, they look like they're right out of high school. Well, particularly the one guy. I forget his name, but holy crap, does that guy ever have the babiest of baby faces. We move on to the trios tag match. It's Chase Hughes, Arijah and Kale, and Mr. Chase versus Dark State, Lennox, Osiris, and Cutler. Arijah and Kale super kick party ended early with a triple pop-up powerbomb. Dark State win. Nice to see the students get in a little bit of offense. Mr. Chase did nothing. I don't even know if he got into that match. It was. We got a rounds match, classic to the Heritage Cup rounds match. It's Charlie Dempsey with Sinclair versus Miles Bourne with Tavion Heights. Miles deep pin snags the first fall at the end of round 1. Dempsey cheap shot after the bell, drawing the boos. Dempsey with the Regal Plex grabs a pinfall, and it is all tied up at 1 at the end of round 3. After numerous back and forth counters, Miles hits a drop kick, pins Dempsey for the win. Whoa, I do not believe I have ever seen a drop kick win a match before, but there it is. Honestly, it didn't even look all that good on, they covered it up pretty nicely with camera angles, but, not the best. Anyway, great technical wrestling in this match. Lots of counters and transitions and all that shit. Strong chemistry between these two. 7.5 out of that. We got Izzy Dame. Smacks Jensen with a chair. He is down. Izzy calls out Jensen for not being all in with the culling. Spears is like, I believe you 100%. Boom, he's out of here. What the heck, man? He was just standing there. He wasn't even doing anything. He gets clocked with a chair, and now he's out. So what's next for Jensen? Is he going to come crawling back to Briggs and Inamura maybe? I don't know. We got Tyra May Steele going up against Ariana Grace. Oh, baby. Tyra hits a nice deadlift German suplex for her debut win. It was an okay debut. Great to see Ariana back in the ring, but compared to Jasper's debut, I mean, homie's going straight after the NXT World Champion, and then you got Tyra May Steele just like, hey, we're going to have you fight someone who hasn't even been on NXT for a very long time, let alone in the ring. So, I don't know how I feel about that one. We got new women's NXT champion, shockingly, Jacy Jayne. She is in the ring showing off her new belt with the Fatal Influence. Jacy trashing the fans, not letting anyone on the Jane train. I believe it is Lonnie Reed interrupts the champion here. Reed claims Jane is the most beatable champion of all time. The disrespect. Lola Vice wants a piece, so does Jordan Grace, Jada Paka, Kalani Jordan, Lash Legend, Thea Hale, and Mariah May. What the fucking fuck are you doing here? NXT Women's Division is absolutely stacked right now. I do not think Jacy Jayne will be holding on to that belt for long. I am just hearing screaming out the words transitional champion, but that's okay. Mariah May. Whoa. What is up, girl? That is a massive loss for AEW right there. She is a monster. If you have not seen what she did in AEW, she gets hardcore, man. She likes to bleed. She has had some of the most violent women's matches I have ever seen with Toni Storm. So, yeah, this is another huge addition for the NXT's roster that just it just continues to get stacked and stacked. They just lost 3 big hitters, and they just added in more, and this division is still disgusting. So good. All right, 8-man tag team action. There it is. It's Javon, Laredo, Dragon Lee, and Sean Legacy, versus Ethan Page and the Vanity Project. Page boots Laredo's head off straight up. How you doing? That looked like it hurt. Laredo eats shit on a dive. A little bit of a whoopsie daisy right there. It's all good. Page, nice trifecta of moves with Vanity Project. Diving Stomp, Operation Dragon combo. Javon and friends win. Good tag team match. Some nice high flying in there. Yeah, and the Vanity Project, they're interesting. They're not too bad. 7 out of 10. And we got Jasper Troy and Oba Femi sign the contract for their match. Troy has a slight height advantage. tries to get in Oba's head about it, but it doesn't work. He's like, how does it feel to be looking up at somebody? He's like, bro, I'm looking up like an inch and a half, like fucking like a half an inch. Settle down. Relax. We got Izzy Dame trying to recruit Tatum Paxley. Yeah, again, feels like Tatum will take the chance this time around. You know, she's got, I forget who was with her, but they're like, don't do it. And it's like, nah, do it. Main event time. TNA World Championship on the line. Weird, but it's cool. Trick Williams defending against Mike Santana. Snake Eyes trick kick combo. Santana able to kick out of that. Santana mean DVD and a rolling cutter. Trick NA kicks out. Santana nails a nice 450 splash. All right, thumbs up for that. Trick gets his pinky on the ropes. Trick smashes Elijah's guitar, causing a ruckus. Navarro and AJ Francis shows up, chokeslams Santana on the table. What the heck? Trick shot connects, and Trick NA retains. A really good competitive main event match right there. Sadly, AJ Francis shenanigans playing a role in the finish. Strong in-ring performances from Trick and Mike. 7.5 out of 10. And a really solid NXT women's division, still so stacked. Even with Julia, Roxanne, and Vacour leaving, add-in and Mariah May is ridiculous. Some good matches, some meh matches. Underwhelming Tyra May Steele debut. You know, she's not getting the love that Jasper got, that's for sure. And a strong main event. 6.5 out of 10. And now we go to the 3-hour SmackDown in Bakersfield, California. Seth frickin' Rollins and crew. I guess I'm going to call them Revolution since they don't want to name themselves. I'll name you, damn it. Revolution. Rollins claiming they will smash anyone in their way and nobody can stop them. That just reminded me of the Bad Boys commercial. Does anyone remember that guy? Nobody! Fuck, man. I went to Bad Boys once and they tried to give me Blue Jays tickets back when the Blue Jays really sucked, and I kept saying no. I was like, please, sir, leave me alone. I do not want to go to the Blue Jays game. And he just would not stop. Nobody. All right. They're smashing, and then no one can stop them. But out comes Solo Sikoa, JC Mateo, and Fatu. I'm interested. Solo questioning Seth in hilarious fashion. I don't know what is going on with Solo right now, but he's hilarious. Solo says Bloodline is standing here right now. Solo calls Bronson honorary Oos Sami Zayn, drawing a huge smile from Reed. He busted. That was great. Rollins starts his mind games trying to drive a wedge in the Bloodline. Seth calls Jacob Solo's bitch, then gyrates his hips, making me giggle. Seth is only slightly threatened by Jacob Fatu. Breaker and Fatu stare down, exciting the crowd. Both squads leave in peace for now. What the heck? Beat each other up. Go crazy. Jimmy Uso jumps Bloodline from behind. Here we go. Great opening segment right here. Especially good stuff from Solo, man. This guy is getting really comfy on the microphone and getting entertaining. He's got, he's just like, basically, he's just making fun of everybody's like little mannerisms and stuff. I like it, man. It's getting over. I like it a lot. Thumbs up for Solo. We got Jimmy Uso versus JC Mateo with the Bloodline. Solo screaming at Jimmy that he can come back to the Bloodline. Oh, get your ass kicked. And he's like, oh, I guess you're just going to go get your ass kicked in. All right. Jimmy in the wind and a spear goes for the splash. Jimmy and Fatu distraction backfires. Jimmy rolls up JC for a sneaky win. Solid match. JC, impressive athleticism and strength. Homie just does a standing freaking moonsault out of nowhere. Insane. Fatu and JC arguing with each other. JC yelling that Fatu is the problem. He may have a point. There is most certainly a point to be made right with that. Fatu should be the lone wolf. He's already the Samoan werewolf. Call him the Samoan lone werewolf and just let him wreck people on his own. That's where I think we're going with this. He's going to eventually break off from the Bloodline, do his own thing, and that'll be good. That's why they brought in JC Mateo, so he can kind of fit in, take over for that Fatu role, because Fatu just got bigger and faster than they expected, I would imagine. Like, he is just over like Rover. All right, we move on. Selena Vega and Julia have a tense interaction backstage. Vega says she will die defending her title. Julia says she likes the champ. Okay? Should be an interesting matchup. Selina's had a couple of rough bouts lately. I don't think that's possible to have a bad bout with Julia, so that should be good. All right. Damian Priest confronting Fatu, says he is coming for the U.S. Championship. Fatu says all his catchphrases, I mean. Whoa, I did it. I think I actually did it kind of good that time. All right. Street fight. It's a street fight for the Women's United States Championship. It's Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven with green and fire. Zelina, using a kendo stick, delivers a hard stop to Piper's back. I guess maybe a hard smack to Piper's back. I don't know. Spelling mistake. What is wrong with me? Piper smashes Vega face first on the apron. How you doing? Zelina, nice counter DDT onto a chair. That was fantastic. Thumbs up for that. Vega moonsault wipes out Green and the Secret Hervis. Zelina, awesome super code red, obliterates Piper. Thumbs up for that. That was sick. Fire pulls Zelina from the pin, making me angry. Piper, mean Michinoku driver on the floor. How you doing? Julia appears. She clears out Green and Alba. Julia with the kendo stick assist helps Vega powerbomb Piper through a table to retain. That was awesome. Thumbs up. And a banger right there. Now that's what I'm talking about. Zelina, great performance. She works so good with Piper. It's a match made in heaven. The big versus the small. And Piper was also awesome. Some sweet spots and close calls. Banger. Julia celebrates with Zelina, and then she attacks the champion, dropping Zelina with the Northern Lights driver. Julia versus Zelina sounds really good now after Zelina just had a nice match right there. Whenever in doubt, Zelina versus Piper always works. You can always go back and revisit that match. Now we got LA Knight, in LA, hyping up Money in the Bank. Knight going for third time's the charm at Money in the Bank. Will he win it this time? Who knows? I do know. Knight naming all the competitors, kind of gauging the crowd reactions. Andrade, decent reaction. Grande, solid jeers. Solo, straight up boos. Rollins getting some jeers. Knight, LA Knight, big positive vibes, of course, in California. So obviously LA Knight's going to be a favorite right here. We got LA Knight going up against Aleister Black, Mr. Black. Knight and Mr. Black. Big tumble over the ropes, a little scary looking, everyone's alright. Knight on fire out of nowhere, gets stomped by Rollins. The match is over. Black stops Seth from hurting Knight further. Mr. Black and Knight speared into the abyss by Braun Breaker. A fine match, adding a little bit more fuel to Money in the Bank. All good, making Seth and crew look even more powerful. Now we got Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce announce after Money in the Bank. The king and queen of the ring tournaments will be beginning. Oh, hell yeah. That's I love myself a good tournament. Don't really like King of the Ring all said and done, but it's a tournament. Tournaments are good. It's just the payoff. Well, they have actually fixed the payoff. Now you get a title shot when you win. So this is good news. We got Jade Cargill interview cut off by Charlotte Flair. Flair brags about something, tells Jade she won't win the tournament. All right, moving on. Chad Gable interviewed about his title match versus Vikingo. Chad sad he is not in Money in the Bank, but he is. He's Grande. But he is confident he will win and become AAA Mega Champion. Andrade and Penta making fun of Gable's terrible Spanish. Creeds get all intense. They will fight about it later. Good for Chad. Guy has been busy as fuck. I mean, he's got 2 matches on Saturday, and he's doing double duty playing 2 characters. Unbelievable. Thumbs up for Chad. And now it's Tiffy time. Tiffy discussing Money in the Bank. Confident the winner will choose Tiffy and lose. Rhea Ripley arrives to a huge pop. Mommy misses being champion. Stephanie Vacour arrives, and that's the end of the conversation because it's match time. It's a 6-women tag team match. It's Vacour, Bless, and Ripley versus Naomi, Perez, and Julia, all the competitors in the women's Money in the Bank. Roxanne planting Mommy with a DDT, awesome sell from Rhea. She just fucking spikes herself. Thumbs up. Mommy goes off, hits Riptide for the win. Crowd absolutely unglued for Mommy in this match. fun teaser for the women's Money in the Bank, but they didn't want to get too crazy. You don't want to have any injuries. You don't want to, spoil any of the big spots for Money in the Bank. So yeah, just a little teaser here. We got JC and Solo trash-talking Fatu behind his back. Of course, Fatu heard the whole thing, and he is about to go nuclear. So just solidifies my idea that, yeah, Fatu is definitely going to be going on his own. He's going to break away from Bloodline, and that'll be good. We get a strange video from Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy talking about to unleash the fuel on the tag team division, something like that. The tag teams are worried about the message, trying to figure out who the heck pissed off the Wyatts. They're all back there arguing with each other and arguing who is going to fight the Wyatts first. I can't remember if they want to fight them or not. I think they were actually arguing who wants to fight them first. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Tag team division looking pretty good. We got Penta and Andrade versus Julius and Brutus Creed. With Chad. Andrade double spinning back elbows with a Penta Mexican Destroyer. Andrade and Penta win. Really solid tag. Andrade and Penta working really well together. I imagine they have tagged somewhere else. They might have tag team in AAA or something. I think they have. So there is some built-in chemistry there. And now we got Revolution. They surround the ring, start brutally beating up Penta and Andrade. Security and management can't do nothing about it. They're just watching. Heyman trashing Baker's bitch, calling it a hellhole. Heyman brags about taking out Roman and Punk. Heyman interrupted by Cody Rhodes. Cody, big long entrance, followed by Jey Uso's long yeet down entrance. Revolution they get annoyed and they just leave. They're like, fuck this is taking forever. We're out of here. Cody and Jey discussing Money in the Bank. Cody calls Cena desperate. Jey does his catchphrases, all that shit. And here comes John Cena. He gets a big reception in LA. Logan Paul, sneak attack on Jey. John clobbers Cody with the belt. We get a pulverizer and a splash for Jey and Cody. Cena removes the trash from the ring. Cena reminds us, our dreams shall be ruined at Money in the Bank. Oh yeah, can't wait. Cena puts over Logan as the next world champion. Cena FUs Cody and Cena FUs Cody. Logan with the KO punch to Jey. Crowd chanting for R-Truth. Cena yells, "You can't handle the truth." What a line. What a line. Thumbs up for that. Logan and John holding up the belts to end the show. Oh yeah. A pretty good go-home SmackDown for a 3-hour show. Revolution, handprints all over the place. Interesting interaction with Solo's bloodline. That could be an interesting battle. Wrestling was kind of mad, but the women's street fight, that was banging. King and Queen of the Ring tournaments announced. That should be a lot of fun. Can't wait for that to get going. Some crowd gauging for Money in the Bank. Rhea Ripley and LA Knight getting massive reactions. Cena dropping more lines in on the WWE Universe. Man, this guy is just a machine of lines right now. 7 out of 10. And now we go to the land of AEW. It is Fyter Fest in Denver, Colorado. And you think 3-hour SmackDowns are bad. How about 4 hours of AEW? So they're putting Dynamite and Collision back to back. 4 straight hours of action. I imagine this has something to do with all the playoffs going on right now. NBA playoffs and NHL finals are going on. So I imagine that's screwing around with the schedule. So let's get into it. Denver, Colorado. Will Ospreay starts the show. He admits it was a bad idea trying to get Hangman and Swerve to work together. Will still believes it is the key to defeating Moxley, is to get those two to work together. Ospreay will call Swerve out for a match next week to try and convince Swerve with violence, I guess. I don't know how that's going to convince him, but all right. The crew randomly interrupt. Leo says Will takes too much and wants to unleash some pent-up jet-lagged anger out on him or some shit. Will is all about it. He accepts the match. Really good promo from Ospreay. Making some good points. I mean, just fucking work together for one night, beat Moxley, and then kill each other. So simple. So simple. Just get it done. We got Jon Moxley in a rare match with the Death Riders versus Mark Briscoe. Briscoe busted open early, Moxley tearing at the wound with his nails and teeth and just, ugh. Mark, redneck kung fu senton dive combo. Briscoe with the heavy chops. Froggy Bow attempt gets caught by Moxley into the choke. Jay Driller connects. Briscoe too tired to make a quick cover. Moxley able to kick out. Moxley gets the choke on Briscoe. He tries to escape, but cannot. Moxley wins. This is a really good fight. Briscoe, a good matchup for Moxley. Hard-hitting strikes. Good rally from Briscoe. 7.5 out of 10. Now we got Mercedes Moné joins commentary. She's got her own table with a big juicy steak and her wine. She is all set up over there. So she's watching Timeless Tony and Mina Shirakawa versus Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Mean double Uranagi to Mina. She slams on the back of her head. That looked painful. We get a sky-high back fist combo. Mina and Tony shaking their lady bits. Pretty funny. Tony chicken wing choke applied, forcing Blue to tap out. Solid match. Nice teamwork from Mina and Tony. Good to see them back on the same page again, since I guess now Mariah May is completely out of the picture. They're just going to forget about her and move on like she never existed, I imagine. And also, really, I'm feeling bad for Sky Blue. You know, she was gone for, 9 months or something. Comes back in her hometown Chicago to crickets. You know, not a big reaction for her whatsoever. She loses on her return, and she loses again here. So, not a great return for Sky Blue. Kind of feeling bad for her. We got MJF playing mind games with Will Ospreay, reminding Will he has never beaten Hangman Adam Page. Max mentioned Will's son Harry, and shit hits the fan. Hurt Syndicate arrived to calm everyone down. It's all good. And I think the key to the downfall of Death Riders is the Hurt Syndicate. Join them, Will. Just if you are saying, hey, just work together, put your shit to the side and work together for one night. You could put your shit to the side with MJF and all these guys and work with them and take out Moxley and just, that would be nice. All right, maybe someday. We have Hurt Syndicate having a official announcement. Bobby gives Denver the thumbs down, and Bobby's from Denver, Colorado. So, what's that about? Maxwell wants his AEW championship back. Max talks about Grand Slam Mexico. Max might be willing to fight Mystico if he is deemed worthy. Bayley, Commander, and Kevin Knight interrupt. Commander furious. Hurt Syndicate disrespected Mystico and Lucha Libre. I said that very badly. Lucha Libre, fuck it. Commander wants a match against the champion. MVP tells them to prove their worth first, and good to hear Maxwell might be getting back into the ring soon. A fine segment right here. That's definitely the theming of Hurt Syndicate. You gotta prove your worth before you can fight us, which is good. I like that. We got a trios match. It's LFI, Dralistico, Mortos, and Roosh versus Bayley, Knight, and Commander. Roosh throws powder but misses. I don't know what that was about. That was really early in the match. Okay. LFI throws Bayley out of the ring onto his own team. That was awesome. Thumbs up. Commander hot tag, wicked DDT, Poison Rana moonsault combo. That's a thumbs up. Beautiful pop-up Samoan drop, springboard crucifix by LFI. That crucifix bomb was gorgeous. Thumbs up again. Commander runs the ropes, nails the splash. KK UFO splash connects for the win. Banger right there. Hard hitting, high flying action, awesome selling all around. And MVP announces Bayley and friends are worthy of a title shot. Hurt Syndicate go to whoop some ass, but Bayley and friends using their high flying abilities to fend off the Hurt Syndicate. Bayley, Knight, and Commander should be a good challenge for Hurt Syndicate. I would say that would be their biggest challenge. The only thing going against them is that they're not really a tag team. So we'll see how that goes. We got Christian trashing Denver, calling them stupid for their lack of airflow. Christian disappointed Nick Wayne didn't win the Super Juniors tournament. Christian forcing Wayne to defend the Ring of Honor TV title tonight in a fatal four-way. Damn, son, that is some tough love. And now it is time for Platinum Max Caster's Best Wrestler in the World segment. Yay! 5 minutes on the clock. Power Powerhouse Hobbs answers the challenge. It's Hobbs versus Caster. Power slam. Hobbs wins in 45 seconds. I will say Max is getting more and more entertaining in these segments. They're adding a little more pailles. You know, when the clock counter goes up, it does the dun-dun. Like, all right, they're doing a little more with it at least. At least this was entertaining, but it is, all said and done, just a squash match. So, all right. Main event. International Championship 4-way. It is Kenny Omega defending against Brody King, Claudio, and Mascara Dorada. Oh, yeah. Brody Death Valley drivers Dorada into the corner, squashing Omega. That was brutal looking. Thumbs up. Kenny and Claudio Doomsday uppercut to Brody. King busted open. He's bleeding. Dorada leaps off of Brody with the Super Rana to Claudio, landing on King. Like, damn, son, that was sick. Thumbs up. Kenny spiked with a Poison Rana. How you doing? Claudio spin neutralizer combo on Brody. Omega is there to make the save. Dorada awesome shooting star dives like on both sides. Freaking awesome. Thumbs up for that. Omega catches Dorada with the one-winged angel to retain. Banger main event match. Great mix of flavors. You know, you got the hard hitting, you got high flying Lucha, you got Kenny. Oh yeah. And they had all different nationalities. You had a Canadian, an American, there was the Latino, there was the European. Hell yeah. Hard hitting, lovely high flying. You got some blood, creative spots, nasty bumps. Got a lot going on. Yeah. And Okada arrives to have a stare down with Omega. Excuse me. Crowd is going banana for both men. And they're holding up their respective titles, shoving it in their faces, all that. Hands are thrown. Finishers are avoided, and a tease was had, everybody. Omega and Okada, that shall be another epic battle. I still remember their battle at Forbidden Door. Oh my God, I was there. Crowd was going insane, so it's going to be a good one. And a really strong first half of Fyter Fest, teasing matches with MJF and Ospreay, Okada and Omega. Hurt Syndicate going to have a real challenge versus Bayley and friends. Ospreay versus Swerve will be nuts. 2 bangers on the card, and a rowdy Denver crowd. 7.5 out. All right, now we got Collision, and yes, sadly again, I did not get to watch Collision. Blame frickin' TNA, man, and WWE just taking all the space every single week. You had a TNA pay-per-view, NXT pay-per-view, WWE pay-per-view, all in one weekend, plus Raw, plus SmackDown, plus NXT, plus Dynamite. Sacrifices need to be made sometimes, and Collision is the one. I really wanted to watch, I think it was, Hard to Kill, TNA's pay-per-view, so I watched that. So we're going to use Bleacher Report. Thank you so much for your report, and we will be going through what happened on Collision. So they started with a match. You got Shibata versus Ricochet. That'd be a damn good match. It's an eliminator match for the International Championship. The highlights are, well, Ricochet defeated Shibata. Shibata's little voice notes are still very funny. I love those, especially when he's getting berated for a full minute by Ricochet, and then he answers with a quick 2-second, little voice message. Really funny. Ricochet's selling was fantastic as always. Bit of hard chops going on in this match as well, and everyone slapping Ricochet's bald head every match that they're up against him has become one of the best running gags in AEW. You get Powerhouse Hobbs versus Griff Garrison. Squash match that apparently didn't have a good finish. Garrison hesitating on the finish kind of messes up the spine buster at the end, so not a great match right there. You get Mark Davis versus Mark Briscoe in a Murder Machine squash match. I don't know what that's supposed to be about. All right, well, result, Murder Machines won. Grade incomplete. Notable moments and observations. Bane attacked Rosa backstage before this match took place. Briscoe's dive off of a chair to the floor was a fun spot. He does that all the time. Davis was so funny in this episode of Hey EW with RJ City. Okay. Don't really know what that means. We get Top Flight and Hologram versus Lee Moriarty and the Infantry. You get Top Flight and Hologram winning on that one. Pretty good match. There is no way Roosh and Andretti's jackets are comfortable. Oh my god, dude. Those jackets are absolutely ridiculous. The big puffy spikes all over them. They have a pretty good note right here. AEW really needs to do more with Shane Taylor. I agree. He is the kind of intimidating you can't fake or teach. He is one of the few believable monsters in the company. I agree with that. That is very true. I think he is a big intimidating factor, and especially in the ring, because everything he does looks very, very painful. So yeah, I am all about that. Push Shane Taylor. We get Thunder Rosa versus Mega Bane, the Mega Pegasus. And the results are Bane defeating Rosa. You get Rosa is underrated with her selling ability. She is good at looking like she is in the most pain she has ever felt. Her screams of pain sound real. Maybe they are. Rosa's dropkick through the ropes was nasty. She took Bane out of the ring the hard way. And then the main event is FTR versus Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick. Holy crap. How many fucking times are they going to have this match? Paragon versus frickin' FTR. We've seen this 1,000 times. And it was probably pretty good. Yeah, it was. They gave it an A-. FTR defeating Knight and Roderick, or Kyle and Roddy, or whatever the hell. Garcia and Cole have developed a fun rapport. That can't be true. They were great on commentary. Oh, is that right? The moment when Wheeler went falling through the ropes was very awkward because the ref was in the way and the timing was off. Interesting. FTR had a hard time performing the heart attack double team spot. Wheeler kept turning the wrong way, so Hardwood had to keep running the ropes until he got it right. That's funny. Yeah. That's the show. It seemed like it was a very wrestling heavy. There wasn't really anything in between, and none of the matches really were all that important. There were some good matchups, though. I will give them that. A lot of the time, if I just look at the card on Collision, I can just kind of tell who wins just by looking at who's going up against each other, because they just put in like the most, here's this fucking powerhouse versus this lower end card guy. Like, obviously, you know who's going to win. This one doesn't look like it had that problem. So probably a decent show, but it just, I heard the ratings were really bad for Fyter Fest this week as well. I didn't go in and look at the numbers myself, but yeah, man, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, you're going to put a 4-hour show in the middle of the week. Who's going to want to watch that? You got all the other shit going on, NBA finals, NHL finals. You have, other wrestling going on that night as well. So, yeah, I can see them, and the crazy thing is they're going to double down and do it again next week. They're going to do a 4-hour straight show. So, I don't know. We'll see if I can I hope I can get it in. It's not that I hate Collision. It's just that's the sacrifice show I have to do right now when there's these massive pay-per-view filled weekends. Like, I can't fit it all in. There's just way too much. So sadly, Collision's got to be the sacrifice whenever we have weeks like this. But there it is, everybody. Hopefully I did a good enough job letting you know how the week went down. But be on the lookout. I will be doing the Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank pay-per-view review together. So it'll be one episode, and I'll be recording that right after I do this. So be on the lookout for that one. We'll be talking about that. And in terms of what else we got going on with the podcast right now, I lied. I said I was going to do a Switch appreciation episode on the GamerCast. Well, turns out I finished Death Stranding faster than I ever expected, so I did an episode on Death Stranding instead. So hopefully I'll be able to push the Switch one to next week, unless something else comes up. There was a bunch of like game conferences. They had the Xbox showcase, PlayStation had one, and then they just had SGF as well. So I could react to that as well. If there's a preference, let me know. If you want me to react to the game showcases first or do the Switch episode first, let me know. I might be leaning to do the showcases because it's topical, it's hot of mind. Switch ain't going anywhere, so we can appreciate that little baby any week. We'll be doing that. So maybe I'll do the showcases this week, and we'll talk about all the games that got announced and all that good stuff. We'll see. We'll just be on the lookout. An episode will be coming, though. And I got the pay-per-view reviews coming out soon. HockeyCast, the finals are underway, and they have been amazing so far, so we'll break that down and do some more off-season teams. We'll pick a couple more and talk about them along with the news and all that great stuff. And yeah, so that should be about it. A pretty busy week for us here, and hopefully there's no more pay-per-views. I think we're in the clear this weekend, so I should be able to watch Collision and be all caught up and good and all that great stuff. And there we go, everybody. Another episode down. Thank you so much for listening. You the best. You want to be even more of the best. Make sure you're reviewing and sharing the podcast around wherever you're listening to it. hit that star rating, drop a review, nice honest review. And if you're on Spotify, you can drop a comment. You want a question answered live on the pod, anything about wrestling, video games, or hockey would be preferred. Just send them on in. I'll do my best, or I'll answer them live on the pod. It'd be great. And there's also a YouTube channel, GamerGX Videos. Links are in the description. Go over there, subscribe. Another great place to drop a comment on one of the videos. And I also have a Twitter page where I put up announcements as best as I can, so you can follow along with that as well. There we go, everybody. Another episode down. One more time, thank you so much for listening. You're the best, and we'll be back again with some out. Hold up. Wait a minute. I forgot to do the 3 stars. Oh, shit. Let's go. Hold on. If you're still here, thank you. Let's do the 3 stars really quick. Oh, man, we got a shout-out. Punk versus Grande versus AJ Styles on Monday Night Raw. Triple threat action. That was some damn good shit right there. That is a worthy main event, and it lived up to it. Banger. Good enough for a shout-out, but the official 3 stars, 3rd star goes to Piper Niven versus Selena Vega, the street fight on SmackDown. Oh, baby, I needed that. I needed that good performance out of Selena right there. She had some rocky matches, and this one was a banger. Got into it with Piper. They have beautiful chemistry with each other, and they achieved it again. Good enough for the 3rd star. 2nd star goes to Bayley, Knight, and Commander versus LFI on Dynamite. Freaking awesome action. So much talent in the ring right there. Tons of high flying. Amazing selling. Good enough for the 2nd star. And the 1st star goes to Omega versus Dorada versus Brody versus Claudio. 4-way action for the International Championship. And it had international flair. It had a bunch of different flavors going on. Lots of different action. Amazing selling. Close calls. Hell yeah. Good enough for the 1st star. And there we go. I'm officially done this time. Thank you one more time for sticking around. We'll be back again with some out. GX Bloodgate.